Mabibi na mabwana, wageni waalikwa, assalamu alaikum. C'est un plaisir bien partagé pour moi d'être venu ici aujourd'hui avec vous.
It's an honor to be here with you.
Comoro n'est pas loin de la Tanzanie, mais très voisin de la Tanzanie par la culture et par la distance.
Comoro is near Tanzania and the two countries are related by culture and history.
C'est une grande opportunité qui nous a été offerte ce matin par NICAB.
It's a big opportunity offered to us by Pink Hijab.
De montrer la vision des Comores, une vision économique, un non politique jusqu'à l'an 2030.
To show the Comorian vision from now to 2030.
Donc, nous avons le plan de développement économique des Comores que je vais vous présenter.
Sorry, now I'm switching to Kiswahili as he requested. So, Mheshimiwa Balozi anaitambulisha nchi ya Komoro kwa malengo ya Komoro kujikwamua ifikapo mwaka 2030. Na ni kongamano la wadau ambaye limeendelea mjini Paris tarehe 3 na tarehe 4 Disemba 2030.
Le plan Comore émergent est l'outil de mobilisation de la nation comorienne pour l'émergence du pays.
Malengo ya Komoro ya mwaka 2030 ni njia ya kuileta taifa pamoja kwa ajili ya kuinua nchi na yanazingatia masuala yafuatayo.
Il tire ses fondements des référentiels suivants: la vision du chef de l'État, les objectifs de développement durable.
Maoni ya kiongozi wa taifa la Komoro, Mheshimiwa Azali Assoumani, malengo ya maendeleo endelevu yani SDGs, na agenda ya Umoja wa Afrika ya mwaka 2063.
Le diagnostic que je vais vous présenter.
Mtazamo wa kimkakati.
Les Comores sont constituées de 4 îles: Anjouan, Moweli, Ngazija et Mayotte.
Komoro ni nchi huru kwenye fungu visiwa katika bahari ya Hindi na ipo upande wa mashariki wa Afrika. Ina visiwa vinne: Ngazija, Grande Comore, Mwali, Mayotte na Ngazija, Mwali, Mayotte na Anjouani.
La superficie est de 2612 km².
Ina eneo la kilomita 2612.
La population plus de millions.
Population yani idadi ya wakazi ni takriban milioni 1.
53% de la population a moins de 20 ans, population jeune.
Ni wakazi wa nchi ya Komoro ni vijana sana na 53% wana umri chini ya miaka 20.
Nous utilisons la monnaie, le franc comorien.
Fedha ni faranga ya Kikomori, KMF.
Le langage utilisé, c'est la langue française et l'arabe.
Nchi rasmi, lugha rasmi za Komoro ni Kikomoro, Kiarabu na Kifaransa.
Le PIB en 2010 était 557 millions de dollars.
GDP nominal ni 557. milioni.
C'est un marché très vaste.
Soko la Komoro linahitaji kutanuliwa.
Un financement à développer.
Na mifumo ya fedha inatakiwa pia kukuzwa.
Des échanges commerciaux à équilibrer.
Na biashara zinotakiwa kufanyika kwa usawa.
Un espace budgétaire à élargir.
Na bajeti inayotakiwa kutanuliwa pia.
Avant d'aller, mais je vais vous dire que nous avons 1800 Comoriens qui arrivent en Tanzanie par mois.
Kabla sijaendelea nataka kuambia kuwa tuna 1,800 ya Komoro wanakuja Tanzania.
Business,
kwa business, biashara,
hospital,
tourisme na utalii.
Merci.
Asante.
Un pays stable et ouvert.
Sasa mheshimiwa anazungumzia mambo ya kujivunia nchi ya Komoro. Kwanza ni nchi imara ambayo inakaribisha sana wageni.
Une position géographique stratégique.
Na sehemu mahsusu ya kijiografia iko strategic.
Océan Indien.
Bahari Hindi.
Canal de Mozambique.
Na canal ya Mozambique.
Une population jeune et éduquée.
Idadi kubwa ya vijana na kiwango cha juu cha elimu.
Un potentiel en hydrocarbures avéré.
Na inaweza kuwa na hidrokarboni ya juu.
Un patrimoine culturel riche et authentique.
Urithi wa utajiri wa kiasili.
Comme la Tanzanie, en particulier Zanzibar.
Kama Tanzania, Zanzibar ambayo tuna vitu vingi vinatukaribisha.
Un environnement naturel diversifié et préservé.
Na kama tulivyosema, Komoro ni nchi changa ambayo mazingira yake ni bora sana na ya matunzo.
Une ambition forte portée par le programme d'ici l'an 2030.
Nchi ya Komoro ina uthubutu mkubwa wa kufikia malengo ya mwaka 2030.
Faire entrer l'Union des Comores dans le concert des pays émergents à l'horizon 2030.
Ni kulenga kuifikisha Komoro katika safu ya nchi zinazoibuka ifikapo mwaka 2030 kupitia mchakato wa mabadiliko ya kimuundo ya uchumi ya kisasa.
À travers un processus de transformation structurelle de l'économie et de la modernisation du pays.
C'est déjà fait. C'est déjà fait.
Ok. Dans ce processus, comme l'a bien dit la dame de la banque, et comme on attire aussi les gens, on appelle à faire une industrialisation de nos économies que nous pourrons les amener dans le marché que le Comore en a.
Kama alivyoyasema dada wa World Bank, tunahitaji kufanya industrialization kwenye nchi ya Komoro.
Les Comores sont membres de la SADC.
Komoro ni katika nchi za SADC. COMESA,
Ligue Arabe,
Arab League.
Que ce sont tous des marchés potentiels qu'on pouvait produire aux Comores et vendre dans cet espace.
Na ni fursa kubwa ya kuingiza biashara na kuwekeza Komoro.
Notre référentiel,
kipimo cha kujikwamua mwaka 2030,
une vision au service de l'émergence des Comores.
Nguzo 5 za kimkakati za mabadiliko ya muundo wa uchumi wa Komoro.
Le tourisme et artisanat,
utalii na ufundi,
auquel on demande un vrai partenariat avec la Tanzanie et Zanzibar, auquel ils ont une expérience déjà avancée dans ce sens.
Ambayo tungehitajia sana Jamhuri ya Muungano wa Tanzania walivyokuwa na uzoefu sana kwenye eneo hilo.
Nous avons l'économie bleue.
Tuna uchumi wa blue ambaye ni utunzaji wa utumiaji wa bahari kwa manufaa ya Komoro.
Zanzibar est déjà en avance.
Ambayo Zanzibar wametupita kwa mbali.
Mais aussi la Turquie pourrait nous servir aussi de référence.
Lakini nchi pia Turkey.
Services financiers et logistiques.
Huduma za kifedha.
Malheureusement, le banquier est parti, n'est pas là. Pour l'intéresser à venir au Comores.
Unfortunately, the bank is not here.
Agriculture.
Kilimo.
Niche industrielle.
Na sekta za viwanda.
Quels sont les catalyseurs pour accélérer la transformation et pérenniser la croissance économique?
Na vichocheo vya kuharakisha mabadiliko na kudumisha ukuaji ni haya:
gouvernance politique et administrative,
shughuli za kisiasa na uongozi.
Dans ce cas-là, dans la bonne gouvernance, c'est la stabilité du pays. Il ne faut pas qu'il y ait un déséquilibre dans le pays pour qu'on puisse attirer les investisseurs arrivés dans le pays.
Ambao jambo muhimu katika hilo ni stability ya nchi na usalama.
C'est très important pour un financement.
Ni muhimu sana kwa uwekezaji.
Nous avons les infrastructures,
miundombinu,
capital humain,
rasilimali watu,
climat des affaires très abordable,
na utunzaji wa mazingira.
Des lois sont créées pour faciliter les investissements, les investisseurs qui vont arriver aux Comores.
Na sheria zipo imara za kuwarahisisha wanaotaka kuwekeza Komoro.
La numérique,
na teknolojia.
Conditions de mise en œuvre de notre programme de développement jusqu'à l'an 2030.
Vipengele vya utekelezaji wa mpango wa mwaka 2030.
3 conditions indispensables à l'ambition des Comores émergents.
Tunayo masharti matatu muhimu kwa azma ya Komori kuinuka.
Un cadre macroéconomique favorable,
mfumo mzuri wa uchumi,
un modèle basé sur l'attraction pour financer le secteur stratégique.
Yani ni mfano unaotegemea kuvutia uwekezaji wa moja kwa moja kutoka nje ya nchi, FDI, kufadhili sekta ya kimkakati.
Un développement résilient au changement climatique.
Maendeleo yanayohifadhi mazingira.
Une gestion durable de la biodiversité et des aires protégées à l'échelle nationale.
Usimamizi endelevu wa biodiversity, bioanuwai na maeneo yaliyohifadhiwa kwa kiwango cha kitaifa.
Un dialogue politique et industriel rénové.
Mazungumzo mapya ya kisiasa na kitaasisi.
La création d'un conseil stratégique présidentiel du plan Comores émergent.
Yani kuunda tume maalum ya mkakati na kuinua Komoro.
Conclusion: le programme Comores émergent va permettre de doubler le taux de croissance annuel moyen de 3% à 7,5%.
Hitimisho, mkakati wa kuinua Komoro wa mwaka 2030 utaruhusu mambo yafuatayo. Na kwanza ni kuzidisha maradufu kiwango cha ukuaji kwa mwaka kutoka 3% hadi 7%.
Multiplier par 4 le PIB par habitant.
Kuongeza pato la taifa mara 4 zaidi.
Accroître l'indice de développement humain de 0,5 à 0,8.
Kuongeza kipimo cha maendeleo ya watu na wa Komoro, yani HDI, kutoka 0.5 hadi 0.8.
Réduire la pauvreté de 44% à 15%.
Kupunguza umaskini kutoka 44% kwenda 15%.
Avant de prendre congé de vous, je vais passer 1 minute pour dire que le sujet qui a été présenté ici, c'est la femme dans l'islam et le business.
Pouvez-vous répéter s'il vous plaît?
Avant de prendre congé de vous, le sujet, le thème qui a été présenté, c'est la femme musulmane dans le business.
So before ending my speech, I will talk about women in Islam.
Le business n'est pas prohibé par l'islam.
Islam is not against business, especially for women.
But si les hommes sont autorisés à faire le commerce et le business, également les femmes sont aussi autorisées.
As well as men are allowed to engage in business, it's the same thing that women are allowed to.
Pour l'islam, l'homme et la femme sont égaux dans la loi.
In Islam, women and men are equal toward the laws and Sharia.
Ce qui est interdit, c'est le riba.
What is forbidden in Islam is usury, riba.
So, je vous remercie de votre attention et merci beaucoup.
Nawashukuru sana, thank you very much.
Asante sana.
Merci beaucoup, Your Excellency, and thank you for introducing us all to your beautiful island in one presentation. What we heard is that we have a lot of similarities. As you said, our history, our culture. Although, yes, we're a lot bigger in size. Tanzania population is 50 times yours. But everything else, your aspirations match ours. Your 2030 aspirations match our 2025 aspirations. You pointed to a few things. Agenda 2063, African Union, Tanzania will also aspire and have signed on to the same. Looking at the SDGs, the Sustainable Development Goals, Tanzania also aspires for the same. You're members of SADC, COMESA, the Arab League, Tanzania, we're members of EAC, SADC. So we have already areas of cooperation and access. You pointed to 5 things: tourism, the blue economy, financial and logistics, agriculture and industry as your 5 key focus areas. I think those really marry what us as Tanzania also have focused on. We're pushing for tourism development. We're looking at Zanzibar. We're looking at Pemba. We're looking at our own vast, beautiful natural resources in Tanzania. The blue economy, Honorable Minister from Zanzibar spoke about it, and we know that this is something that Tanzania is also very keen on continuing to work towards. And you rightly said that Comoros, you can learn from us, and so for that, we also, as Tanzanians, we should be very proud that there's already a platform for us to also export our products to Comoros. Financial and logistics, yes, your geography places you very strategically. The Indian Ocean, the Mozambique Canal, but once again, as I mentioned earlier, Tanzania, we boast to be potentially we can be the logistics hub of the African continent, where we have 8 neighboring countries, we have access to the ports, and then we have our infrastructure. So once again, another common area for us to potentially work together. Agriculture, that was also mentioned by His Excellency, the Ambassador for Turkey. I think once again, you're speaking the same language as Tanzania. Agriculture remains our backbone. That will not, I don't think that will change, and even if it changes, it'll be in the type of agriculture that we do. It may be moving towards food processing, but agriculture for Tanzania and our land remains in our hearts. And lastly, in industry. Once again, we all know in this room, our governments, both 5th phase and 6th phase, still promote industrialization of Tanzania. We were lucky and blessed that in July of last year, 2020, we got bumped up to a lower middle income status. And this is something that we are working hard, and I think we heard from our government, the 6th phase government is working hard to maintain us at that level so we don't drop, and to push us into a fully middle income status country, which is also one of your aspirations. So we have a lot that we already have in common with our neighbors, and so thank you for sharing that with all of us and for opening our eyes to see that you really are our neighbors, literally the meaning of jirani. Asante sana, merci beaucoup. We're now moving to our first panel. And now in this panel, I will also give everybody an opportunity to speak to the presentations and the words that you heard in the earlier session in the morning. So if I could kindly ask up to the stage, His Excellency Dr. Mehmet, Ambassador of Turkey, Honorable Omar Said Shaban, Minister of Trade and Industrial Development, Zanzibar. I'd also call up Mr. Ahmad Badui again to be able to be part of this panel, and Mr. Moteza Piran, the cultural counselor for the Embassy of Iran. So this panel, as you can see, is full of the heavyweights. It's a very high level panel, but we thought it important for you to now get a chance to ask. You've heard a lot of information today, and I'm sure you have questions. I really would urge you not to siwe naibu. We have managed to invite and get this very high-level panel with us, and they've taken their time, and you've heard all of the vast opportunities that are present. So we would like to invite you to think of your questions and to pose them to the panel. We have people to help us with the microphone. But before we start, I would like to give a few minutes to the cultural counselor from the Iranian embassy, because he has not spoken. If he could just share with us also a few remarks, so that when we open up the floor, our audience would have heard now from our government, from Turkey, from Comoros, and from Iran. This is truly an international panel. Karibu sana.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Dear sisters and brothers, Salam alaikum. Because of the shortage of time, I just directly start topic about the subject. So here I would like to briefly talk about the situation of women in Iran, especially after the Islamic Revolution in Iran in 1979. In Iran, we do not believe that hijab is a restriction for women. Rather, we believe that a woman with a hijab works more calmly and safely in the workspace, and with hijab, she can focus more on her own job. Today in Iran, a significant part of the employees in the field of education are women. For example, more than 60% of the teachers in Iran are women. Experience has shown that due to the characteristics of the women and femininity, women can be great teachers for students. In Iran, in elementary schools for boys and girls, almost all of the teachers are women. I do not know exactly, but I think more than 90% of the nurses in Iran are women. And in the obstetrics and gynecology department, almost all doctors are gynecologists. It is clear that women are much comfortable to tell their issues to a female doctor than to a male doctor. Now in Iran, we have so many ladies who are active in sports, and hijab is not a problem for them, and now they are participating in many international competitions. Today, there are some sports competitions, especially for Muslim countries. Recently, Iranian women compete in the Tokyo Olympics in taekwondo, karate, sailing, shooting, and etc. Today, the number of girls in Iranian university is more than men, and this gap is increasing every year. This means that there are more educated women than men in Iran today. I don't know, fortunately or unfortunately. In Iran, according to the condition of women, facilities have been considered for women. In Iran, women with 25 years of experience can retire, while men must have at least 30 years of experience. Women in Iran can retire at the age of 55 if they do not have 25 years of experience, but men must wait until they reach the age of 60 if they do not have 30 years of experience. Men and women have equal salary in Iran, and women have 9 months of paid leave for childbirth, and also they can get 9 months more unpaid leave. Well, now the pandemic has led many businesses to cyberspace activities. many in cyberspace try to attract more visitors by abusing women's sexual attraction, and just as some companies in Western countries have a materialistic view of women in promoting their products and women's sexual attractions in order to have more sales. This issue is far from human dignity. Women are not a commodity and they are not material. Women are the angel who educate and train the next generation. So they are respectable and valuable. If we want a model, the best model is Khadija Salamullah alayha, the wife of the Prophet, and Fatima, her daughter, Salamullah alayha, who are an example of a devoted woman and can be a model for society. Today in Iran, like many other countries in the world, there are freelance websites where people, especially women, can do their work at home and earn money. We have so many websites like this in Iran now. People, especially women, they are working at home if they have no chance because of children, because of family. They are working at home. So with these websites, they can do their job at home. Like in this website, they can register and express their expertise. Then customers are introduced to them in their specialty. For example, for typing, company will send them text, and after typing the text, they will send it to the company, and then they will pay for the job. Or if they know Photoshop, they can like a software such as Photoshop, they can graphic design at home, and they can earn money in this way. In Tanzania, I do not know if there are such a website or not, but if companies can start such a business by creating freelance websites, they would help many people, especially women, in this way. Well, I know the time is very short, so once again, I appreciate the Mrs. Khadija for holding such an important program, and thank you. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thank you very much for those words and for introducing us to your beautiful country right here in Dar es Salaam. I think a lot of us learned a lot of things that we were not aware of, but also thank you for pointing to the beauty of the hijab. So thank you very much. I would now like to welcome questions from the floor. I see a hand up immediately at the back. If you could kindly, as you're asking your question, firstly introduce yourself, who you are, where you're from, and if it's a specific question to one of our panelists, if you could also state that. Asante. Oh, yes.
Oh, thank you. My name is Dr. Said Simon, a doctor with PhD from Morogoro, an individual consultant. We have only 3 questions. The first question goes to Embassy of Turkey. Just as far as Tanzania concerned, we have a lot of young girls organization, especially dealing with entrepreneurship, particularly on the issue of digital inclusion. My question is that, is there any opportunities for these young girls organizations in terms of entrepreneurship skills they can get from Turkey Embassy, especially on the issue of capacity building, so that these organizations can support and improve the lives of young girls in Tanzania? That is the first question. And the second question goes to Sister Sykes, IFCS. As far as, thank you for your presentation. My question is the issue of reaching grassroots organizations, especially at rural areas. As far as Tanzania concerns, we have a lot of challenges in terms of infrastructure. My question is that, how do you plan to reach grassroots young girls organization dealing with issues of investment, issues of entrepreneurship? How do you reach at grassroots organization at rural areas? And the third question, first is congratulations to Honorable Said from Zanzibar. My question with the issue of partnership, as Tanzania mainland concerned, I need to know the situation on how Tanzania mainland organization dealing with the issue of investment can have a partnership with organization in Zanzibar, especially on the issue of policies or situation at all. Thank you very much.
Can we have another 2 questions so that when the panel responds, they can respond to a series of questions? Any other questions from the floor? Yes.
If they don't ask, you will ask.
Karim.
Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum. My name's Hadija Jumanne Kishimba. I'll channel my questions in 4 areas. The first one, I'll start with Ambassador. First of all, I'd like to thank you guys very much for your presentations and for joining hands with Pink Hijab for the initiative that we have right now. But just to have a clear cut so that the women come out of here and understand really what are they grabbing out of these interactions with the embassies. On the part of Turkey, we've seen a lot of opportunities in terms of textile machinery. I believe the women here would also want to venture in areas whereby we feel we cannot be part of them, but we can also work. Maybe we can do transfer of knowledge, because with transfer of knowledge, maybe a Turkish company would enter partnership with a company here in Tanzania and maybe try to transfer slowly, and maybe the women will be enticed also to run their own companies, like how you're saying in Turkey we have women who are running very good, very big companies in male-dominated industries. So maybe we could see how we could do that kind of partnership for those areas. The second one is on the part of Iran. Thank you very much, first of all, for congratulating the hijab. And we should also get a lot of learnings from Iran. Empowering women, training women, educating women, so that they can be able to take up different roles. A good area that I saw was about the digital inclusion, like our theme is. So with digital inclusion, if you could really assist us, because we can see most of the Muslim women are home-based women. So if they could have that knowledge of the digital freelance education, it would really facilitate them. They don't need to move out of their domicile because it's a cultural thing. But they could be making business, they could be interactive. And how can we transfer that kind of training, that kind of knowledge to women in Tanzania so that they can also be part of that agenda? Thank you very much, and congratulations to the minister from Zanzibar. Like how Said put it very well, and I would like to second him on the area of interaction between mainland and Zanzibar, especially when it comes to policies. And how are we going to bridge this gap when we want to partner and maybe try to, you know, when we team up, when we talk about Zanzibar and mainland, we're one. When we team up and we come up with maybe a consensus, we could be able to move to the global standards, because we need to think globally now. And maybe teaming up between the 2 parties would bring more opportunities, and maybe would be able to grab the opportunities overseas. Maybe you can just give a little clarity on that. For the part of Comoros, we are brothers, we are sisters with Comoros. We do agree, and thank you very much for the presentation. But would love also to hear from Comoros on the mentorship skills, on the training capabilities. Sometimes we feel that we cannot learn from each other, but we always learn from each other. So maybe sharing experiences with Comoros would be a great idea to see other opportunities maybe the women are not seeing in this initiative. Thank you very much.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My question goes to Komoro, to the Honorable Mr. Ahmada. Okay.
Sorry, Your Excellency, we're taking notes, so once His Excellency returns, we'll inform him. So please proceed, Mama.
Okay, thank you. My question is, first of all, thank you for the good presentation. It has been an eye-opener to most of us, I think, for the Komoro. Because we have been seeing, we Tanzania have been producing and supplying Komoro for quite some time. We have made a lot of business with the Komoro. And basing on this 2030 program, it appears they are going to revolutionize the agriculture and the industry and the many other things, as we have heard. Now, I'm wondering, as the Komoro is having about only 1 million population, and the tasks which we have, he has listed in the presentation, I'm wondering, what is the workforce do you have in your country to really manage all what you think of achieving in 2030? But we welcome you to Tanzania to take us to come and work together.
Thank you for all those questions and for really challenging both ourselves and our panel to think even broader and bigger. We're going to take this one round first, and then we'll open it. We'll have another round of questions. So please, I've already noted you, so you'll go in the next round. And please, if you could, we can have 2 or 3 other questions for the next round. So for this round, I'll allow our participants to respond. I think it was very clear. Each question was directed specifically at an individual. So karibuni sana, there are microphones on the table.
Thank you for the questions directed to me. I think there are 2 questions and they are more similar. I think the second one seconded the first one. So I will respond them in collectively. Talk about the partnership between the Zanzibar organizations and mainland organizations, especially when it comes to policy issues and harmonizations. There are many forums for to achieve this. There are those government-led forums, and there are those privately organization-led forums. We have, for the government, we have joint committees and meetings on the ministerial, at the ministerial level, at the technical level. We had mainly all the time meetings to discuss on how we can harmonize policies so that we can have one common policies that enable us as a country, as a Tanzania, to effectively participate in the regional and the global platforms, both in businesses and so we have a joint, and we also have a high-level panels. Some of you might know about the joint committee led by the Vice President and the second Vice President for Zanzibar as the co-chairs. These are the high-level panels that meet to discuss and harmonize policies, but also we have organizations like REPOA. I know they are working both in mainland and in Zanzibar, and they do research-based activities and see how we can harmonize the policy, if there is any policy barrier on any issue, and how to harmonize that. That has been the effort I know has been going on. But on the private sector as well, I know a lot of B2B between the Zanzibar and the mainland companies. Also, forum like trade fairs, what is going on now in Sabasaba, popularly known as Sabasaba, Dar es Salaam International Trade Fairs, provided platforms for mainland and Zanzibar organizations to meet and cooperate and forge partnership. So these are things can also be used. But also a forum like this that has been initiated by Pink Hijab. I'm not very sure how many participants from Zanzibar in the room. I met one. But it could also be a platform used to bring together players and stakeholders from both parties. And last but not least is one, we always consider that mainland and Zanzibar, it's not about forging partnerships. It's about blood relationship that has been existing. So it has been there and it will be there. Thank you.
Just to continue from right side, two questions, comments and questions. Thank you very much. First of all, thank you very much for inviting us, because these platforms, I also agree, gives, first of all, a chance to open minds, to start for relation. But later on, of course, it will not start business only with this relation. Then we should go in deep. We should go in the project base. We should go in the sector base, company base, person-based relation. It should be started. For the questions, is there any possibility for capacity building for girls in digital economy? Yes. Turkey has a development agency called TIKA. And with TIKA, we have some supports for projects. That's why if there is any concrete project, concrete idea, we can get you with our staff in development experts. They have office in Dar es Salaam, and we can work over it for those projects. It can be an NGO, it can be other organizations that we can work for that. That's why, inshallah, we can, if we can agree on the project, we can support through that TIKA about the project. About the partnership, I mean, I will speak openly. For Turkey, Tanzania is not the first country to make investment. I am also trying to attract. Because of the geography, Turkey in Balkan, in Europe, in Middle East, in North Africa, in Central Asia, there are lots of other attractive companies, countries are trying to attract. But what I am trying to do, that Turkey to wake up about the potential of Tanzania, about the geography itself, with a really beautiful and big geography. For example, in agriculture, it's a big land which is not used. Or for tourism, there's still gap that for the facilities, for the capacity we can produce together. But also we should work together for making partnership, trying to attract for the, if there is any specific company, let's say that in here, wants to make partnership, we should sit together, we should work for the specific sector, and we should define which companies we can make partnership. And as Turkish embassy, yes, we are representing Turkey in here, but we are ready to represent Tanzania also in Turkey. We are ready to promote Tanzanian companies in Turkey also. Turkish companies are now coming here and asking us trustful partners. That's why we are ready to promote Tanzanian companies, Tanzanian products in Turkey with wish, I mean with high excitement. Please consider us as one of your representatives in Turkey.
Thank you very much. I think I had one question. I try to reply it. Comoro, the women are working. They are making agriculture, like African women. They make agriculture. They make. There is also they are training in the school, primary, secondary, university. They are political women. Currently, we have the vice president on the parliament is a woman. We have 4 ministers, women. They are but there is also another activities what they are making, kanzu or kofia like here. Is it too expensive? Or juba, for example. One kofia for 300 Comoran money for the men. But here in Tanzania, when they are coming here, I tell you that we have 1,800 Comorian by month who are coming here. Air Tanzania 3 times to go to Comoro, and is full. Why they are coming here? They are coming to buy mbe, mbuzi. Huh? They are buying, but stock life, because our culture, like now, soon for the Hajj, we have to cut the mbuzi or the mbe. But you want to see, not the meat, but to see the mbe or mbuzi before. And they are buying here in Tanzania. So it's too important. They are buying also furniture at Kariako. They are buying clothes, majawa. They are buying at Nazumoja. Many things. But is the organization. They are coming here, no committee, no organization who can take them and show them where they can find what they need. They are coming in the hospital. If we have an organization here in Tanzania who can receive them from the airport and give them the best hospital, which they can go to do their treatment, it would be better. When we can organize to have no transitor here to go to Comoro, they take a small boat, accident coming, no insurance, they lost their money. Tanzania and Comoro. It's the big loss which we have every day from here to go to Tanzania, to go to Comoro. But if I tell you, by month we have 1,800 Comorians who are coming here, till today, January till today, I have 125 Tanzania who go to Comoro. How you can what's there inside if we don't make a trip? It's impossible. We are learning every day. Every day we are learning. We want to know in the ground. The barrier which we have on our region is the language. Is it true? 40% of the Swahili is the same of Shingaziji of Comoro. But making a school to train Comorian Swahili or English, it facilitates the communication between the two. Here in Tanzania or Comoro. I don't tell you, madam, to go only to Comoro, but when we open an embassy at Comoro, Tanzania is wine. I want to get, and you want to get also. No, only one side. We have in common the religion, Islamic religion, and Shafi'iyya. So what we are making now, both our knowledges from the religion. We have the culture, dancing, which we have, which we can sell in the world. How we can organize it and have a benefit. In this morning, I tell to Madam Khadija about cooperation between the neighbors. Not only Comoro, but we have Mozambique, we have Uganda, we have Comoro. How the model of Niqab can have a view at Comoro, for example. Because I represent Comoro, there is another ambassador for Mozambique, for Uganda, but how we can have representation? Because, you know, the life is coming from the woman who has the son, who has the daughter, have to make a good education. So the good education is coming for the women. We can make implementation for the good education now with the civilization and the modernization. On our religion, we say, if we say the paradise, the Mberu al-Jannah, under the feet of, because they are working hard for the education. Now the education is lost. How we can make a good education for how we can cooperate to make a good education. It's that I would like say through you what happened and how we can collaborate with you, women from Tanzania and Komoro, or Komoro in Tanzania. But you stay here and found a woman, come, I want to say that we have to move. 1,800 Comoran by month, 135 Tanzania to Komoro. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you very much for the good question about the freelancers websites which are active in Iran, alhamdulillah, especially in this pandemic COVID-19. Now many people, especially ladies, they are working at home. And it is we cannot hide that this reality that the women, they will be mother or they are mother, so they have to take care of their children as well. So this idea that working at home can be a very good idea, and we are ready to exchange our experiences in this case in Iran with our brothers and sisters in Tanzania, in cultural center and in embassy. We are ready to exchange our experiences. Thank you.
That question that asked by one of the person from the audience to His Excellency about the strategic plan or the visions 2030 of Komoro, and with a population of 1 million, she's just worrying about if there is enough human resources to achieve the visions. And I think the aim is to see whether there's an opportunity to migrate to Komoro. And I want to hear your comment, Excellency, to that.
Okay. Yes, you know, we are past 1 million, but Seychelles are less than that. But it's a vision how we can attend. Tanzania has more school. How you can participate for our vision to coming and learn here. Professional, we have VETA, for example. VETA is here, not only University of Dar es Salaam to become a doctor or engineering, but others matter what we can cooperate. We have a nurse school at Pemba, for example. We have a nurse of school at Zanzibar, for example. It's that cooperation which we want to develop, because before we are moving from Komoro to Francophone countries. Must be changed. Human resource is important. We can't change anything without knowledge. Without knowledge we can't. So you have the capacity. Which strategy the Komoro and Tanzania can put on the table and have a good cooperation. And also, because we are Niqab Muslim, we are Niqab women, هل يستوي الذين يعلمون والذين لا يعلمون? They are the same who is know and the same who does not know. La, no, never. So, we want to attract Tanzania, how we can develop our knowledges, not only in the religion, but also the technology. You are independent many years, soon 60 years. Yesterday, we had our independence for 46. So we are young, and unfortunately, 46 years since we are independent, but 24 coup has been at Komoro to destabilize our country. You know it, because Tanzania help more Komoro to have our sovereignty. So we have many things which we need to cooperate and develop it and become an emergency country like others. Not only Tanzania, but is open. That meeting, that vision which I show you today is done in French to attract many partners. But if we are member of SADC, we are member of COMESA, we want that countries to cooperate with them. How we can develop? Now with coronavirus, the borders are closed, only Tanzania. But they are coming. Go to Aga Khan, go to Muhimbili, go to Regency, Saifi, they are full, are coming from Comoro. So we need that cooperation be developed and become reality on the ground. Wine, uhunde ni hunde.
Imeleta kuchokoza jamani, safari ya Komoro ianze sawa.
As Turkey, we are on the side of both countries.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. I think you've pointed to a lot of information that even us as Tanzanians sitting in this room, we did not know. How much we have a history with Comoros. And you mentioned something in your presentation that now comes back to even become more important. You said that one of your guiding principles for you to achieve 2030 vision is peace and stability. And you've now provided the context as to why that is so important in your given your 46-year history since independence. So asante sana for that. But also pointing to the hospital tourism. I think this is what the new language. I think Dubai and UAE, they're really trying to promote them as that pre-COVID, of course. But this is something that even for us as Tanzania, I did not know about the amount of hospital tourism that we provide for the region and particularly for Comoros. So this is also another opportunity that we get to see. But I also want to point once again to Pink Hijab Initiative. When you bring and you provide such platforms, this is exactly what this is. It's a lot of learning. It's a lot of sharing. It's a lot of opening our eyes. Tunafungua macho yetu, tunafungua mawazo, and we are learning and growing and seeing the opportunities right in front of our faces and within tangible reach. Because Pink Hijab, thank you for bringing such a high-level panel. We see that it is reachable in Inawezekana. So with that, thank you very much. And I would now like to go to the second and last round of questions. I know there was a lady in this table who was very keen to ask a question, and I also know that there is a Dada Zuena, yes, who has a question. So if we can get those two questions and maybe one more for our high-level panel and thank them for their time, and then we can move on to the next part of the program. Karibu sana.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Zainab Thabit. I'd like to ask this question to the Comoro ambassador. I just wanted to know, like, what does it need a person or a lady or a business person in Tanzania who needs to import food products to Comoro? What restrictions or what boundaries do you have? That's it.
Thanks so much, all presenters, for their good presentations. I do appreciate a lot the efforts you are making towards Muslim women in your country and ours as well. Mine isn't a question at all, but rather it's a request. We, Muslim ladies, in our country, we have been facing a challenge whereby whenever we are trying to approach some donors or high-level donors, there is a myth perception that women, they're not educated, well-educated, or women, they don't deserve funds to run various programs or groups or financial programs like this one, like pink hijab. So, it's not true. Women, or Muslim women, we have various professionals, like us here. We are women, and we are Muslim, but from various professionals. And pink hijab is a well good platform to uplift women, Muslim women. I therefore kindly asking ambassadors and high-level people who are present here today to help us. Or you can be our bridge to reach high-level donors like you and women so that we can get funds and run our groups, because women can lead and women can do better than others. Thank you so much.
Is there one more question? Yes, there's a lady up in the front table. The next one, Elena Ufuata. Asante.
Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum. Thank you for the representative. I've got only one question. What kind of spices can we send to Turkey, Iran, and Comoro? I want to know. Thank you.
Is there any other last question, or we can end there? We're okay? Okay, thank you. So there are only mainly two questions. One was on agricultural products and what is the standards surrounding that to Comoros. And then another one was for all the three countries represented here in terms of the spices. And of course that for us is very important. And for the comment from Dada I think here we can tie it back to what that Aisha said in her presentation, the difference between a mentor and a sponsor. So I think we can twist that and say that she's indirectly asking you all to be the sponsors for Muslim women in businesses, in your avenues, in your roads, in your meetings, in the spaces within which you walk. So I think that is a request and a challenge for you to kindly take it on and be the sponsors of. Yes, champions, now it's sponsors, absolutely, absolutely. So thank you and welcome His Excellency from Comoros to respond, and then everybody else can respond to the question on spices. Karibu sana.
Yeah, for the agriculture production, we are member of SADC. If we are member of SADC, we have the law which we can use to applicate for all agriculture product on that area. But if we are speaking specifically between Tanzania and Comoro, we have the Minister of Agriculture who must give the license, the authorization, called it in French phytosanitaire. I don't know how we can say in English, but in French, phytosanitaire. He gives you a paper to show that the product is good. Before before sent to the Nyombe Ombuzi, they must be in quarantine. In quarantine, we assure that they have vaccine against all diseases here before going in the country. So it's the condition when you are arrive to Comoro, we'll ask you, where is the paper from the Minister of Agriculture? Show that that matter is in good health to be sold out of the country. If you have not that, you can have a problem by customer, by your responsible for the country. But if you have it, you can send what you have. For the spice, I think is okay. Okay. For the spices, we have the same species, Komoro and Tanzania, but Iliki is using more for mikate wa jungu, or mkate wa sinia. And but it's the same. We have the same. The problem now of Komoro, the spices are coming from Kenya and Tanzania. No production at Komoro. But the data is not known. We have to work with the authorities of revenue to know what they need, or going to visit Komoro and meet with the Chamber of Commerce and know the quantity of spices is using in the country before bring the youth and go at Komoro. Assalamu alaikum.
As the cultural counselor of the embassy, in fact, I'm not expert in this issue. So I just come to say, I don't know, but what I know is that you can import saffron from Iran. And I think ginger is Iran, it is rarely we can find. So ginger is very important spice that you can export to Iran, I think, and especially the fresh one. Thank you. You can ask the embassy more information if you want.
Yeah, for the spices for selling to Turkey, a couple of spices are much more wanted from Turkey. One of them is cardamom, one of them is cinnamon, cacao, and ginger, clove, and although it's not spicy, the coffee. Different types of coffee is really wanted from Turkey. The only thing is that making branding, making proper packaging, and choosing the quality products, the qualified products, and choosing the right products. Because if something you give the value for your product, then you can sell it much more. For the lady that commented about to help to reach the donors, I also want to make a comment. Please, instead of using donors, don't look at for donors, look at for partners. You are not an NGO. And don't position yourself as an NGO or as a humanitarian activity. You should be looking for partners. Please see yourself, please see Muslim women as one of the important actors in business world in Tanzania. And don't think that you are asking from a rich man, something like that. No, you want to do something, you know your aim, and whoever says it is not important, what you do is important. I believe that in different sectors, for example, I was also having some notes, for example, design. In Tanzania, what I believe that there are lots of raw materials, but if you have a specific and spatial unique design, then you can sell it better than others. Because otherwise, for example, in furniture, I see lots of furniture producers, but they are all same. 99% of them are same. There is no different version, there is no different design. In Kanga, in that fabric, they are nearly same. In jewelries, they are nearly same. In wood products, they are nearly same. That's why, as the woman, you like how to dress. You like, even, I'm married, and I also ask my wife to what to wear. This is something normal for men. That's why your eyes, your understand of well-being, understand of good is good, be better than us as a gender. But for yourself, it needs to be educated, designing, educated, proper, new producing things. That's why it can be one of the areas. Second, for health tourism, the MC is also mentioned for that. In Turkey also, there is an important area. I don't know if anybody from health sector, for example, Turkey also offers a lot for that. From different countries now, there's direct flight. I know that now the flights from India is closed nowadays, and there are lots of applications are coming to us for shipping from India to Turkey, because there's direct flight, there are lots of developed private and state hospitals. It can be one of the area. This is not a heavy job. It is only about contacts. It's only about information. And one of the areas is also, I already mentioned in my presentation, in food and agriculture sectors, please, you need to be well organized, not donor. Normally, the companies should find you, not you shouldn't be asking for donor. Please look for partners. Thank you very much.
I want to make two comments. One is about the requests. I think these feelings of women being a disadvantaged part of a community should come to an end now. I think women's moment is now. You have a female president, right? And so you have authorities. Women are authorities now. I think if you continue to promote that feeling that we are disadvantaged community, people will take advantage of that. Come forward and show your muscle, show your strength, show your opportunities and potentials. This is what I would and as rightly put by His Excellency here, don't look for donors, because if you look for donors, you are going like an underdog. But go and look for a partner to do business together. One. Two, for those who are trading export and import, just to give you information, I think tomorrow, Tanzania is launching a trade portal. It's an improved trade portal. It's like a business information hub for those importers and exporters. And I have an honor to be invited as a guest of honor to launch it tomorrow at Sabasaba ground. So for those who are engaged in the export and import, look at these websites or look at these portals. You'll get to know all these steps and procedures and the markets available in and out of Tanzania. Asante sana.
Just one second, my consul attaché is here also. He warned me that. Also vanilla, Mr. Onur himself, vanilla, black pepper, and also cinnamon, if I don't know if I mentioned or not. The cloves is also wanted from Turkey.
Alors, donc, avant de clore, excuse me, before close that, we are open like a country. We are open, and we want to work with Tanzania. I repeat, we want to work with Tanzania, but the strategy, it will be done by the company which you are representing and the company which will choose at Komoro. We are open for any area which you need. We can see how you help you to found a representation or any person on other side to help. What do you want to do? Komoro, we have vanilla, we have cloves, we have cinnamon, we have that. But why the company who product that in Tanzania can't cooperate with Komoro and bring to sell out? Why we can't make a joint venture with the two companies and make a small industrialization for parts? For example, we have Ilang Lang, we have Jasmine. It's a good perfume. Why we can't to be together and make it and sell out of the two countries? It's a time to discuss wine, how we can cooperate. Not only the small thing, but something which we can develop our two countries. I would like to thank NICAP, because I have another agenda now. Because we have Ambassador of Somalia who must leave the country, and I must receive him. But also, I'm the Dean of African Group. If you want to meet all ambassadors of Africa, you can request your appointment through me, and I can introduce you for African Group or Arab Group to discuss and present what you need of the countries. Thank you very much.
Merci beaucoup. Thank you very much. And thank you for that valuable contribution in terms of access to Africa Group and the Arab Group. Thank you very much. Thank you very much to the entire high-level panel for your time, your contributions. I'd like to end by copying a phrase from His Excellency. In your presentation, you said buying and selling Turkey. I think as Tanzanians, we could adopt that and say buying and selling Tanzania. As Comoros, you can say buying and selling Comoros, but for us, it's buying and selling Comoros-Tanzania, and then buying and selling Africa as a whole. I think this is what we've learned here, that as we look towards buying and selling our own products, we're also promoting the continent as a whole, the country specifically, and keeping in line with the theme of today, digital inclusiveness. We're now working in that area of using the digital economy. So all of this is indeed possible. So thank you very much. Asanteni sana, karibuni tena, and would now like to welcome you back to your chairs. Thank you very much. I would now like to bring it home and talk about our own opportunities right here in Tanzania. I would now like to call Mr. Khalid Mubarak to discuss how to promote inclusive SME banking channels in Tanzania. Karibu sana.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Mheshimiwa mgeni rasmi, kumradhi, kabla ya Mheshimiwa babangu balozi wa Komoro hajaondoka, ningeomba ni add comments hapo kwa alichokielezea hapa. Naomba nimhakikishie kuwa sisi kama Pink Hijab kuna kina mama wengi ambao wana taaluma tofauti kuhusu mambo mengi, hususan hayo ambayo ameyaongea hapa. Wapo kina mama ambao wana elimu za logistics, ambao wana uweredi wa kutosha wa kuweza kuorganize safari za hao wageni kutoka Komoro ambao wanafika, lakini pia wanaweza kuwasaidia hao wa Komoro kuwaonyesha masoko mbalimbali na hata pamoja na hospitali mbalimbali. Hivyo basi, kwa niaba ya kina mama hawa na kwa niaba ya Pink Hijab, nikiwa kama mkuu wa kitengo cha idara ya mipango na mikakati, tunaomba tulete kwenu ombi ya kutupa sisi Pink Hijab pamoja na kina mama waliokuwepo hapa waweze kuorganize na kuandaa safari zote za wanakomoro wakija. Baada ya hayo, Mheshimiwa mgeni rasmi, kwa jina naitwa Khalid Rashid Mbaruk, ni mkurugenzi katika idara ya mipango na mikakati Pink Hijab. Mheshimiwa mgeni rasmi, idara yangu inahusika na mambo makuu manne. Inahusika na upatikanaji wa masoko wa bidhaa za kina mama ambao wako hapa, lakini pia idara yangu inahusika na upatikanaji wa huduma za kifedha za kina mama ambao tunawaona hapa. Tunahusika pia na uendelevu wa biashara za kina mama hawa, yani sustainability in development business. Lakini pia tunahusika na e-commerce. Mheshimiwa mgeni rasmi, naomba nielezee kazi zetu moja moja kama utaniruhusu. Kwa kuanza na upatikanaji wa masoko, yani accessibility in the market, sisi kama Pink Hijab huwa tunashiriki kwa kiasi kikubwa kuwasaidia kina mama kuweza kupata masoko juu ya bidhaa zao ambazo wanazizalisha. Sambamba na hayo, Mheshimiwa mgeni rasmi, idara yangu pia inahusika kuwaunganisha kina mama hawa katika maonyesho mbalimbali kama expo exhibition ili kuwaweza kuwafanya waweze kuuza bidhaa zao. Lakini pia tuna promote bidhaa zao, tunawasaidia katika advertisement na tunawasaidia katika kuwashauri namna ya kuzalisha bidhaa bora itakayokizi mahitaji ya wanunuzi. Mheshimiwa mgeni rasmi, idara yangu pia inahusika na upatikanaji wa huduma za kipesa. Kama tunavyojua, huduma za kipesa ni za kimsingi sana katika biashara. Ili uweze kufanikiwa katika biashara, ni lazima uwe na usimamizi mzuri wa kifedha. Kwa kupitia idara yangu, tuko katika mazungumzo na benki ya CRDB ili kuweza kutengeneza mwamvuli ambao utakaosaidia kutatua matatizo ya kifedha ya kina mama hao ambao wako hapa, lakini kuwapa fursa mbalimbali za kibiashara zinazotokana na taasisi hizi za kifedha. Kwa hivyo basi, sisi kama Pink Hijab tunategemea kuwa mwamvuli wa CRDB na tutaweza kufanikisha huduma za kipesa wa kina mama kuweza kuwa rahisi, lakini pia tutaweza kuwasaidia kina mama waweze kupata mikopo isiyokuwa na riba na mikopo ambayo itakayokuwa na masharti machache. Mheshimiwa mgeni rasmi, idara yangu pia inadili na mambo ya uendelevu wa biashara. Sisi kama Pink Hijab huwa tunasikia faraja pindi tunapoona wafanyabiashara wetu wanaendelea kuexist katika market. Kwa hivyo basi, kwa kupitia idara yangu inahakikisha kuwa wafanyabiashara wana masoko ya muda mrefu. Na pia tunahakikisha kuwa wafanyabiashara hawa wanafanya biashara katika namna ambayo hawaathiri mazingira, lakini pia hawaleti athari kwa jamii inayotuzunguka. Lakini mwisho kabisa, Mheshimiwa mgeni rasmi, idara yangu inasaidia na katika mambo ya e-commerce. Ningependa kama Mheshimiwa Naibu Waziri angekuwepo ili aweze kulisikia hili, ya kuwa kwamba sisi Pink Hijab tunafanya vizuri kuliko hata Alibaba. Mapinduzi ambayo tuko nayo katika tovuti yetu ni makubwa sana. Lakini pia kwa kupitia idara yangu tumeandaa mafunzo mbalimbali kwa kina mama na hawa wafanyabiashara ili waweze kuwa vizuri katika upande wa kidigitali. Na kitu kizuri ambacho tuko nacho hii siku ya leo, tutakuwa na uzinduzi wa segment yetu mpya katika website ambayo itakuwa ina showcase product za hawa kina mama. Mheshimiwa mgeni rasmi, tumepania kwenda internationally, ndio maana tuko vizuri kidigitali. Baada ya kuyasema haya, naomba sasa nialete kwako maombi ya kina mama hawa, Mheshimiwa mgeni rasmi, kiwezekana uweze kuwafanyia kazi na kutupatia ufumbuzi. Tunatambua fika kule Zanzibar, soko la majongoo limekuwa kubwa na limeshamiri. Wapo kina mama wengi humu ndani ambao wanaomba na wao waweze kushiriki, waweze kuwashika mkono katika soko hilo. Lakini pia tunaomba pia kwa upande wa serikali ufikishe salamu kwa mama yetu Mama Samia ya kuwa tuna shauku na fursa mbalimbali ambazo zinazotolewa na serikali kama TanTrade. Tunaomba tuweze kuzipata hizo fursa kwa wepesi. Kwa upande wa Mheshimiwa Balozi wa Uturuki Mr. His Excellency Mr. Mohamed. Merhaba, Nasisin, vizuri sana. I would like, with all respect, to make a request to you on behalf of all of these Muslims, women who are here in this event. If it is possible, I'd like to get a trip to Turkey so that we can get the exposure from the Turkish country and Turkish women, so that we can get the experience from them and learn how they conduct their business. We believe if you will accept us, these Muslim women will go ahead in their business. I hope we will be considered. Nihitimishe kwa kuwapa rai mama zangu na wafanya biashara ambao mko hapa. Kwa kupitia Pink Hijab tumeona kuna fursa nyingi. Hivyo basi naomba sisi kwa umoja wetu tuweze kushikana ili tuweze kuzitumia fursa hizo. Ni imani yangu ya kuwa tukishikamana tukiwa kama group tutaweza kufika mbali. Lakini tukiwa peke yetu mmoja mmoja tutachelewa kufika mbali. Hivyo tunawakaribisha Pink Hijab ili tuweze kufika mbali. Asanteni sana.
Asante sana. Na asante sana kwa kutupanua zaidi our understanding of Pink Hijab and what you do in providing accessibility to markets for women, exposing them to exhibitions, advertisements, financial services. Once again, CRDB has been mentioned in such an amazing light, and we'll get to hear from them next in terms of the services that they provide for women in business, and that Pink Hijab has offered to be the umbrella group that then helps business women find access to financial services. Pink Hijab also is very keen and roots its strategy in sustainable business, looking at long-term markets, environmental friendly marketing, and also e-commerce. Pink Hijab has very big ambitions and a very large vision to really be international. So here again, we'll use His Excellency's term in terms of buying and selling Tanzania at a global level. Pink Hijab offers training for women, particularly on the use of digital devices and digital marketing. And I think it was mentioned that today there'll be a launch of a new product line on the website that will be showcasing products of women, business women in Tanzania. And then the final request was a humble request to Your Excellency for a learning exchange visit to your beautiful country from our beautiful country. So we're hoping that that will be accommodated, inshallah. We have heard about CRDB. I think it's been mentioned 3 times already, with a very good and positive light. So it would not be good to end this morning and go for lunch without giving CRDB Bank a chance for us to firstly see them, to thank them, but then also for them to come and tell us how CRDB Bank is helping in financial inclusion in the country. So I'd like to welcome Mr. Muhsin Mohammed Said, Senior Manager, Products and Sharia Compliance, CRDB Bank, to come and share with us a lot of the experiences of CRDB Bank, but also to show us how and why, including the World Bank Group, is pointing a spotlight at the good work that you're doing for financial services for women, business women in Tanzania. Karibu sana kaka.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala ashrafil anbiya wal mursalin. Honorable Omar Said Shaban, Minister of Trade and Industrial Development, Zanzibar, Honorable ambassadors for Turkey, Iran, and Comoros, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. As mentioned here, my name is Mohsin Mohammed. I am the Senior Manager responsible for products development and Sharia compliance. Of course, the Sharia compliance product. Mine are very few. I came, I think, with 2 issues. First is to thank Pink Hijab for allowing us being part of this agenda. We understand that they might be, of course, we understand that there are some other institutions that wished to be part of you, but you opted to welcome and letting CRDB being part of this agenda. So we really thank you. That is one. Second is to answer a very simple question asked by Madam here on how CRDB helps in financial inclusion in the country. Financial inclusion is of 2 levels. First level is a minimum level service. This is access to saving, transfer, and withdraw. And the next level, or the another level, is the maximum service level. They call it. It goes all the way from savings, transfer, withdraw, and other services like access to finance, investing in different areas, and also access to other international trade products such as LCs, guarantees, etc., etc. So the answer is very simple, that CRDB goes all the way from A to Z. It means from minimum service level to maximum service levels. It means that as a bank, provide services all the way from savings and to access to finance to all groups. So the first point on this question is looking at the bank's coverage. Looking at the statistics here, CRDB is among the biggest players among the financial institutions in the country, having 260 plus branches throughout the country. So you can see how the coverage is, footprint. Almost all the regions in the countries are covered by the bank. Along with that, there are also agents. We also have agents, like 20,000 plus agents throughout the country. It's a plus. Those areas that maybe people for one reason or another cannot access branch, they can simply go to agent and access to some financial services. On top of that, there are mobile branches. We have like 21 mobile branches throughout the countries. That there are some areas on some occasions that maybe people cannot, might demand services. So we go with our mobile branches and serve our customers. We have ATMs, like 500 plus ATMs throughout networks, throughout the country. We have digital banking, mobile banking and internet banking. Another issue is looking at the staff. We have like 3,000 staffs. And among this staff, 44% are women and 56 are men, which means that you can see the financial inclusion. I mean, how women are included in this in staffing actually. So, and this one, not just junior staff. It starts all the way from directors, senior management, middle level management, and junior staff. So we have included women to the maximum. And also another issue on financial inclusion is of products and services. At the bank, we have number of products for different groups, ranging from corporate to individuals. We have products for corporates, we have products for medium SMEs, and also for individuals. Of course, men and women also. We have all are the same. Another issue for financial inclusion as the bank is a sectorial financial inclusion, meaning that we have finance for specific groups, not groups such as sectors like agriculture. We have specific loans for agribusiness, and also other sectors like construction, etc., etc. The last thing I would like to mention on financial inclusion, CRDB. I think when I introduce myself, I say I'm a senior manager responsible for products development and Sharia compliance. Here, CRDB is about to launch Islamic banking services to its customers, which means that this means what? This means that there are some groups in our society which, on one way or another, felt isolated because of their faith grounds, faith issues. So, having seen that, the bank has seen the need of going all the way, starting Islamic banks to make sure that this group also included within financial inclusion and get these products and services by the banks. I think the question of how CRDB helps in financial inclusion is responded to that. I went through another issue. The last issue is for Pink Hijab team. I went through the strategic goals of Pink Hijab through their profile here, strategic plan 2024. Among issues here, you mentioned leadership and political participation, economic empowerment, ending violence against women and girls, peace and security, government and national planning, intergovernmental support. I would request also, as your name says, Pink Hijab, if you could also add among these encouragement or encouraging the proper wearing of hijab, as per your name, encouraging the women on proper wearing of hijab as per the Sharia, as per the Sharia, Quran and Sunnah and everything. I think you know that and you understand that. Having said that, we have our team here. We have Rachel. She's a senior manager responsible for women access to finance, and in the team. So on your time, you can follow and getting to know some products that are specific for women or other groups as well. But she is responsible for women access to finance. You can see that how CRDB went, that there is a specific department or unit responsible to make sure that women have access to finance. This is how far the bank has gone. Having said that, once again, I thank Pink Hijab for allowing CRDB being part of this agenda. Thank you very much for listening.
Asante sana, Kaka Said, for informing us of all the ways in which CRDB, you're working very hard to ensure that women, particularly Muslim women, have access to finance. Tunawashukuru sana, asanteni sana. We have come to the end of the morning session formally. As we move to lunch, I believe lunch is served right outside. As soon as you walk outside, you'll see the setup, so karibuni wote. I believe and understand that there are also prayer rooms available. I think they're downstairs or right at the end of the same level. There are also prayer rooms available. After lunch, we'll have the honor of hearing from Mama Mega Isa, who is the Executive Director for the National Economic Empowerment Council in Tanzania. We apologize that Professor Assad will not be able to join us due to some very difficult news that he heard the past few days, and he's attending to a personal family matter. But we'll have Mama Bengisa, who will talk to us about nurturing creativity and innovation in Tanzanian enterprises and transforming business enterprises internationally. I think this really also speaks to everything that we've heard this morning and to what His Excellency said right at the end in terms of how do we brand ourselves, how do we package ourselves, how do we ensure quality, and how do we innovate our design. So Mama Bengisa will be able to help us see how to do that better to promote our businesses. And I think I see her coming into the room. Shikamoo Mama. So yes, karibuni sana for lunch, and we will see you back here by 2 o'clock so we can try to finish on time. Karibu. Yes, and before that, we would like the high table, His Excellencies and Honorable Minister, to please go and lunch first. Karibuni sana.